You picked LangChain because it had more stars, more tutorials, and more integrations than anything else out there. But 6 months into your project, you're spending more time fighting the framework than building your product. That's the hidden cost nobody puts in the comparison charts. And today we're going to unpack exactly what it is and whether you can avoid it. Let's start with what LangChain actually gives you. It's an incredibly comprehensive toolkit. Chains, agents, memory, retrievers, document loaders for practically every file format you can imagine, and integrations with hundreds of vector databases and model providers. On paper, that flexibility looks like a superpower. And for a quick prototype, it genuinely is. You can wire up a retrieval-augmented generation pipeline in an afternoon by copying a few snippets. That early velocity is exactly what seduces people into choosing it. But here's where the tension in our title comes from. That flexibility isn't free. LangChain gives you 1,000 ways to do the same thing, and it changes its recommended approach frequently. The abstraction you learned 3 months ago might be soft-deprecated in favor of LangGraph or LCL, the expression language. Your code that worked perfectly against one minor version throws cryptic errors after an upgrade. The hidden cost isn't money. It's the cognitive tax of tracking a moving target and the debugging hours you burn peeling back layers of abstraction just to understand what prompt actually got sent to the model. CrewAI takes a fundamentally different philosophy, and this is the comparison people rarely make honestly. CrewAI is opinionated. It gives you a clear mental model built around agents, tasks, and crews. An agent has a role, a goal, and a backstory. A task has a description and an expected output. A crew orchestrates them. That's basically the whole vocabulary. When you're building a multi-agent workflow, that constraint is a gift because it removes the paralysis of choice and it makes your architecture legible to the next developer who reads it. Now, concretely, imagine you're building a system where one agent researches a topic, a second writes a draft, and a third edits it. In CrewAI, you define 3 agents, 3 tasks, chain them sequentially or hierarchically, and you're done. The code reads almost like a project brief. In LangChain, you're deciding between LangGraph nodes, custom agent executors, tool calling loops, and state management that you largely wire by hand. You get more control over every edge, but you pay for that control with complexity you have to maintain forever, not just on day one. So which cost do you actually want to pay? Here's the honest framing. If your application is genuinely novel, if you need fine-grained control over routing, branching logic, human-in-the-loop checkpoints, and custom state, LangChain and especially LangGraph reward that investment. The abstraction burden is worth it because the alternatives would force you to fight the framework anyway. But if your problem fits the agent and task shape, and most business automation problems do, CrewAI gets you to production faster and keeps your team sane while doing it. The mistake I see constantly is teams choosing LangChain for its ecosystem size and then only using 10% of it, while inheriting 100% of its churn and complexity. Popularity is not the same as fit. The number of GitHub stars tells you how many people started, not how many shipped and stayed happy. Match the tool to the actual shape of your problem, not to the size of its community. So before you commit, ask one question. Is my workflow a graph of arbitrary logic or a crew of collaborators with clear roles? Answer that honestly, and the right choice becomes obvious. If this saved you a few painful months, subscribe, because the next video breaks down exactly when LangGraph beats both of them.